Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Handsome men have to worry about the pregnancy trap. Yes, the pregnancy trap. And the pregnancy trap goes along several lines. It could be the woman just wants the man seed, the handsome man seed. Anything ranging from that to the woman wants to marry the man. She's trying to trap him to get that baby and everything. And especially handsome men have to deal with it. Especially handsome men. Because let's be real. Even though, and I've said several times, women have sex with a man who might not be as physically attractive depending on the circumstances. Sex. But when it comes down to who they have a baby by, oh, nah, he at least has to look good to her. He at least has to look good to her because you'd be hard pressed to find a woman who will consciously have a baby by an ugly man. A baby. Sex, yeah. Baby, no. Even though I do personally know one exception, a woman who had several babies with a guy she called ugly. But yeah, she's special. But really, this is something you gotta worry about. In fact, the pregnancy trap, pregnancy game was the first thing my mother taught me when I was 7 to look out for. She said sometimes a woman, she just want that baby. She'll say, okay, let me get pregnant. Like, especially for the handsome guys who's following this channel and everything, handsome man game. Sometimes, especially when that biological clock is ticking. Now, women, they will settle if they have no other choice. But if they get that man and all they want is the baby, all they want is the baby. They might not even want the man, they want the baby. Oh yeah, it's like, well, they be like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. You can take off that condom. I want to feel you. I want to feel you. Or they say, oh no, you don't need a condom. I'm on birth control. And then if you ask them, where's your birth control? Oh, I don't have it right here. And look, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna share this with you. A woman got me on that. Thankfully, there was no child, but she got me on it. But I was still a teenager, like 19 or something, got caught up in that one, because I, just didn't have as much experience. Now, even though I knew about the pregnancy trap, I still got to learn something. I still had to learn something. So, like I said, but you get some women like that. And especially on some lower classes, yeah, they figure, hey, get that baby. And it's not even about the man's financial position because depending on where they are, they know they'll get state assistance or something like that. So get a cute baby and some state assistance. Or you get some of these groupies who going after like these pro athletes, right? All right, they're going to get this fit man, this muscular dude, tall dude. He usually handsome, usually got some level of handsomeness. And they get his money. And that's a big thing in the pro ranks, pro athletes ranks. In fact, they have seminars telling them that. We just recently had a situation, the whole PJ Washington, Brittany Renner situation. That's very common, more common than people realize. But think about it, and this is one thing, if you're a man and women calling you handsome, or women saying to you, oh, we'll make some pretty babies, boom, boom. Shoot, I've had some women say that to me. Now, let me be real quick, because I know somebody, you say, hey, oh, you don't look like that. I'm 56, motherfucker, I ain't supposed to. So, check my IG. I've shared pictures before of me when I was younger. In fact, you get my book, Sexual Chemistry, that's me in my 20s on the cover. So anyway, you will get that. You gotta be concerned about that. Hell, I'm concerned about that with my sons. And stuff. Because you get some women, they just want that seed. And they really have they have their strongest drive for that when they first hit puberty. They have the strongest drive. That's why you got a lot of teenage mothers and stuff. And they have it strongest when they're in their teens. And then that's why they go money and status don't really mean much to them then. And then as they get older, you know, they still want to party and stuff. But then it hits a second thing when they're from 27 to about 40. That, you know, that biological clock is ticking. And yeah, they'll dip down if they have to, as long as the guy looks decent. You know, they got a long range. But if they can find that handsome man, and he got all the stuff, got that pretty smile, got those eyes they like, you know, got that body build, look like he'll make a healthy baby, oh yeah, they'll get the seed. And then you get some other women, they figure, look, I'm gonna trap him. You know, they figure out something in his personality, he's a type who would take care of a child. They'll try to hook him, all of a sudden, boom, boom. Now you don't hear about that as much. You don't hear about it as much, but it happens. I've actually met some men who women called handsome, really handsome and stuff, and they had that baby, and I talked to the men, they not that pressed. They weren't that pressed about the woman, but the woman had the baby, and they gonna be responsible, so boom. And quite frankly, a lot of them are, you know, they weren't happy. The men weren't really happy. They tried to be, they were strong for their children, you know, because you know how I respect that, but the women they were with, boom. And that's got to be a concern. See, you know what? If you that handsome man, yeah, some women gonna like you. You're gonna get a lot of attention. It's a great bait. And then you can top that with your personality and stuff. Oh, shoot. And some women, shoot, they see that guy, they kind of lose it. They kind of lose that. And when, I'm gonna tell you what, it's still the greatest indication of your sex appeal to a woman if she's willing to have your baby. That's still the greatest indication, all right? If she even think about it, she might not, like, you know, consciously because of a situation, but if the thought even crossed her mind, that's saying something about you. But see, it's not always a good thing. What I would tell, I got a heat this morning. Anyway, what I would tell men who've been called handsome, first of all, bring your own condoms. Always bring your own. Don't let her give you a condom. Bring your own condoms. Don't get so caught up. Don't get so caught up if you ain't trying to drop a baby in her saying, oh yeah, just take it off or something, you know? Now, if y'all in a relationship or something like that, and you know she on birth control, or you might want the baby, you know, and that's another conversation. You get some men out there who, they want the children. They want the children. In fact, I thought about maybe doing a video on that, but I said, that's a special category, and only a small percentage of men just thinking, oh, I'm just gonna drop all these babies all over the place. But that's something as a man you gotta be concerned about, because that's a life. You responsible as a man, you gotta be responsible for that life. But see, the woman might be thinking something else. Now, if she thinking, well, she just gonna be single or something like that, that's still not cool, because that's still your seed. That's your legacy and everything. And it's quite frankly selfish on the woman's part. Or is she trying to like trap you into marriage or something like that? Okay, well, first of all, if you don't want to marry her, that's really something wrong with her in general. Now, it's different if you looking at that woman and saying she wifey and all of that. That's different. That's different. Shoot, there's no problem there. There's no issue. This ain't even a trap and stuff. And in fact, you know, it's just something there. And in fact, shoot, it's rare, but you get some men who try to trap the woman by getting her pregnant. That's something more for my woman's channel. But beware of that, especially a lot of women. And, you know, and I'm going to tell you what, sometimes some handsome men, when you get a woman like that, she got that clock ticking or something like that. Or I've talked before, you get some lesbians and stuff, or, you know, they want the baby. You get it's a big thing with sperm donation in the old fashioned way. Hey, you know, that might be fun for some women. So, you know, be very concerned about that. As a man, especially a handsome man, remember your seed is valuable. Your seed is valuable. You got to look at it like that. First of all, you need to be covering up as best as possible. As best as possible. Yeah, there might be some slip ups and you get caught up in a moment, but try to stay as disciplined as possible. Also, too, here's something, and this is something I always did. like I said, I ain't one of those dudes been with some 1,000 women sexually and shit. More so than the average man, but not no 1,000. For one reason. For one reason. My mother broke down the pregnancy game to me when I was 7. So I say 95% of the women, not that woman I told you, young lady I told you about earlier, but 95% of the women I've had sex with, even protected and all of that, were the type of women I said, could I deal with this woman long term? And if the answer was yes, I was like, okay, I still had sex with her. I still had sex with her. Even with that, Rom's had some pregnancy scares. But, even with that. But, if I dealt with a woman and my first thought was, no, this ain't somebody I would want to deal with long term, I wouldn't have sex with her. I'm gonna tell you what, there's a lot of stuff. In fact, I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into that in a couple of days. You know, a man controlling his seed. You know, a man looking at his sex as the prize. So anyway, the thing that kept me out of trouble, and it was still some problems. So is if whenever I dealt with a woman, it had to be somebody I say, okay, I can deal with this woman long term, even if we're not married. You know, I always looked at that. If something in her character rubbed me the wrong way, she was too ratchet or had some craziness, my joint wouldn't even get hard for her. My joint wouldn't get hard for her. In fact, even to this day, if my joint has trouble, or it's like, I was like, oh, I pay attention to that and stuff. So, anyway, watch that game for the handsome, especially the handsome men out there, especially the handsome men and everything. Watch, be careful of that, okay? So anyway, that's all I have for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.